Hello. We did it. We're here. Yeah. 2 years in a row. You all like made a pilgrimage down here to Aecon, Canada, and we love and appreciate every single one of you for doing that. This year, I'd like to start the writers panel by making a land acknowledgement. I'm just gonna whip it out, it's on my phone. So, we have a relationship in Canada to the land that is complicated. We're settlers. And this weekend, we're all living and communing and partying on unceded territory of many nations, including those of the Anishinaabeg and Huron-Wendat. For the settlers in the room, this is your opportunity to tangibly contribute to the project of reconciliation in this region. Some concrete ways that we can do that is through giving our physical and financial resources back to land claims, sovereignty, and anti-racist projects here. You can leave this region better than you found it by seeking out sources of renewable energy and diverting waste from landfills. Speak truth to colonial power while you're here. Speak up in your own settler communities, including this one. Challenge the prevailing idea that we have ownership over the land that we stand on, that we rent, or that we've paid for. We are here on stolen land. Our voices can be powerful, and we must use them with each other. And when there is an opportunity to amplify the voices of the people whose land we are exploiting, the most powerful thing to do is stay silent, to listen, and to act to decolonize ourselves and our communities. So without further ado, please welcome Aecon Canada's guests of honor this evening. Can you hear them already? They're like causing a ruckus back there. Get out here, writers.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
Did somebody order some awkward pan?
Somebody put the water and the power bar near me.
That's perfect.
Maybe they did that on purpose.
Hey, how are you? I'm great. How are you? I'm doing good.
Great. We're just gonna chat now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Very well.
Good.
Talk to me. I mean, it's been a year since we saw each other.
I know.
Yeah.
We look amazing though. We look the same.
We do. We look exactly the same. We haven't aged at all.
No, we look awesome.
That's right.
Yeah.
Still awkward. Still awkward.
As ever.
Still sweating. Yeah.
So much sweating.
I know. Someone bring me a replacement shirt, please. It's halfway through. Yeah. Talk to me about what's going on this year. What happened? How have you all been? What have you been up to?
Caitlin,
Is this
do you
a
want to
loaded
take
question?
that, or like personally? No.
Whatever you want.
It's been a whole year. Isn't that crazy? But the important thing is we are here and we won. We won. Because of you guys. So now we all have jobs again.
Yay!
Can I get that in writing,
I
please?
think I have a job. Yeah, we have a job.
Until this panel's done.
No, still got a job.
Yeah, one of us is going to get fired at the end at the panel. Who's it going to be?
One
Wynonna
person will be
reality
fired,
show.
But it's a vote. We let the audience vote who gets fired at the end.
Who is
so.
the
If I
weakest
poop
link?
my pants, am I eliminated?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Fair.
You would have been eliminated long ago if that was the case.
It's true.
Sorry, I just got that.
This is what it's like in the writing room, in case anyone was wondering. It's chaos. It's good. It's good. Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
turning.
and I too
think that was
noticed
at
a
the
big
front.
question as well. What is it like in the writer's room? Now you know. Yeah. So let's start from right now. So you've been away from the show for about a year.
Yeah. What are we doing?
You've been away from these characters for so long.
Yes.
How do you get back to them? How do you find them again?
Well, they live in our hearts. It's funny, like we did actually have a writing room for season 4, just so everybody knows. So we did do some work before they pulled the rug out from under us. We were good
a lot
to
of
go.
work.
We did a lot of really good work. We're excited about it. So I'm hoping when we get back to it soon, very soon, that we can pick that up where we started. But one thing that's kind of been nice actually for me, I talked about a little bit about this, is it's really a full-time job, like writing and editing and producing and then promoting and live tweeting and all of that. In a weird way, having this break allowed me to rewatch the show and just like listen to you guys and remember maybe what makes the show so important to everybody. So I'm hoping that when we start writing, it'll just be like putting on your favorite sexy leather pants. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you remember who Wynonna is?
The blonde one.
The blonde.
Okay, so Emily, you're doing some rewatching. Yeah. Down the row, what do you like to do to get reacquainted with where we are in the story?
Me?
Yeah, you. This is Kristen. That's what she deserved. She got here from Calgary 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Wow. So she is in charge. She is basically the coordinator, and she is in charge of all the lore and all the mythology and the Earp family tree. And so when we mess up, please ask her why. Please, why? Ask her why. Waverly's bathing suit was white in one scene and then cream in the next. What the hell was that about? She loves that. But so she is our lifeline.
Yeah, she's like, if I write a scene where Waverly eats a steak, she'll be like, Matt, she's a vegan. Yeah.
Unless it's beyond beef.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What are you doing to get ready?
I am reviewing my spreadsheet.
Spreadsheets. Don't let anyone tell you that writing is not sexy.
Yeah. So it's spread, isn't it?
Yeah. And opening up tabs that I'm like, at one point I was super ambitious and was like, this is where I'm going to put all of this information. And then to find them empty and have a panic attack. So it's pretty good.
Yeah,
so
good.
Rewatching a lot of episodes too.
Perfect.
I still have my episode beats up, which are like the scenes up on my bedroom wall. So I'm gonna, I left them up there, and then I was like, now I can't take them down because I'm superstitious. So I'll be reviewing those, and then going, what was I thinking?
In your bedroom?
Don't let anyone tell you writing isn't sexy.
Is your husband? Is your husband there? Is he there? Is Steven there?
So what's hilarious is literally I've had them up on the wall for like 6 months. Yeah. And Steven goes, oh, what's that? Like 2 days ago. And I was like, that's been up there for 6 months. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so I'll be rewatching the episodes, which is not a trial. So, yeah.
Yeah, coming here is a huge help. Like, I'm like, that's a Bobo, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, Bobo.
That's something to remember.
You know, I like almost ran from the room automatically.
Something in the room that Noelle got me hooked on is on our commute, we'll like, thank God for Netflix having the show. You can download the episodes. So on my commute, I'll just be listening to the audio of the episodes from previous seasons just to sort of live with the characters. Sorry if I stole your answer, Noelle.
No, that's a great, I mean, I'm a genius. So that's
true. She is.
Yeah. I drive to work, but just so you know, I don't watch it. I just play the audio and I listen to it while I drive to work.
I also just bicycle often, so I'm just listening to the audio, and it's very dangerous. So.
I haven't done any prep yet, but what I will say is that, like, I'm a crammer. I'm the girl who's up at 4 a.m. the night before. But I will say that I feel like Emily has created this very clear world, and the actors are absolutely all just incredible. So the voices are still really clear to me, and I like hear Wynonna jokes or Bobo cracks or Doc, comments like every day, basically. So I might need some like up to speed on exactly where everything landed at the end of last season, but I still hear them.
You're already thinking of dick jokes? Is that what you mean?
So many dick jokes. I have a list.
Come next.
That's what's on my bedroom wall.
Yeah.
Much more appropriate.
Okay, so Shelley, let's pause on that. So when you like hear Bobo things or you hear Doc things in the world, do you file those away for later?
Yeah, absolutely. I have like a notes app on my phone. Should I say this?
funny.
Is this bad?
No, it's good.
Just don't let anyone, don't leave your phone behind.
But like jokes or words that I think are useful. I mean, they're not necessarily plot ideas because the show is so tightly plotted, and so like Emily works so hard at having like a timeline that's really coherent. But you can definitely hear a word or a line that makes you think of somebody, and save those because there will be a moment where it will be 3 a.m. because I'm a crammer, and it will be like, oh, okay, finally I have a joke, like because the wall's not cutting it anymore.
Okay, great. So now Noelle at the very end.
Hi.
She's a genius.
So you're a genius. What does a genius do when you return to the writer's room? Other than get your
Bring your
whiteboard.
soda stream. What? Yeah, because we've been missing it. We need it. So bring that back.
I have an insane amount of like smelly like oils that I bring to the table. I feel like that's my contribution, is making sure that the writing room smells like
Clarify what kind of oil?
She has so many fake candles. I'm like, what
Yeah.
is this
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Right?
Salt
Yeah.
lamps.
Also,
They're
like,
like
I've
light.
developed a chronic sinus infection since working on this show, and I blame Noelle.
Yeah. I mean, that's not great. That part's not great, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I came to Sci-Fi late, and I came to this show as a huge fan, but a bit late to the party, and so I just try and like sit there for a while and absorb all the smartness around me and remember why I was such a huge fan of the show before I worked on it, and then just try and come up with ideas of stuff that I would have loved to have seen, and then just kind of try and get out of the way of the of the process, or like participate as much as I can and be as helpful as I can. So I feel like I still have a ton to learn, but it's the most, I mean, in case you can't tell, it's the most, Emily's put together like the most fun room that's ever existed. So we're very lucky.
Okay, so we're talking about this room. Obviously, you all get along terribly, and you don't care for each other at all. But I
miss Brendan so much.
I hear that this isn't the only writer's room that you've all worked together in before. You've all sort of met in other places. I was doing some research, and I saw that, on other shows. Have anyone heard of Cardinal? Cardinal? Okay. So we have Noelle and Matt who work on Cardinal together. How's the dynamic different between these two shows? Because two different writers' rooms, two different things. Like, what's the thing?
We actually never crossed paths on Cardinal. I came on after the fact. Spent a lovely summer in North Bay, Ontario, which you should all go to. It's a lovely place in the summer. But Noelle was there earlier on. There's actually a better story about Noelle and I working together. I did like 2 weeks in the room of Saving Hope, which is a medical drama.
Tell us about that.
Wonderful show that Noelle here worked on. Noelle and I spent 2 weeks. I was there every day. I remember being so excited to work with Noelle Carbone. You've heard so much about her. And then when I came into the Wynonna room and I was like, hey, Noelle. And she's like, hi, I'm Noelle. Nice to meet you.
I was breaking my episode. I was in an office the entire time you were there.
All right, we're all breaking our episodes. It's fine.
Matt and I have to go to couples therapy to work on this before season 4. So we'll sort it out though. Emily, don't worry, we'll get it sorted out before we start.
I'm in the middle for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
On Instant Star, right?
Tell your story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Your story's better than
Which is weird because we're 28, but we worked together for a long time. Instant Star, Degrassi.
We went to
Yeah.
Lost Girl.
Lost Girl. Yeah. Total Drama Island. Oh my God. Classic. You guys gotta watch it. It's
Where
so
are my
funny.
island heads at?
Yeah.
There's no island heads. They don't exist.
So, like, what's it been like to see each other grow like that, like all the way through all those different shows? Look at this.
We've been in the shit together, to be
Yeah,
totally
we've
honest. Is
totally
that fair?
been in
Like,
the
it's
shit
just
together.
you just need someone you can go into your office and cry behind the office door for 2 minutes when someone
Or
stare
throw
at you
shit
like, okay,
if
this
you're
is
a
happening.
throw shitter.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Do you feel like that? I feel like we've been on good shows and not as good shows.
It's like being in a really intense friendship for like ever and ever and ever, but like you actually go to war together every few months.
Yeah.
So like that thing where you'd grow up and you'd go to grade school with somebody and then you'd go off to the Great War and fight in the trench.
Fight a tentacle. Yeah,
Right?
totally.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So like I have her canteen in my car.
Yeah, exactly. Aw. Always. That's nice.
That's not a euphemism.
No, you know what? It's really valuable because like I feel like Emily's brain is an amazing place that you should all visit, and they have. But sometimes I can guess what's going on in there, which is the best thing you can do as a writer, is to know your showrunner's brain a little bit and have some ideas about what they would love and what they would absolutely effing hate. So sometimes I have those, and then sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Aw. You're all so cute. So let's talk about season 4 and 5.
Okay.
Oh, and 5.
That's right.
Put it in the spreadsheet. Put it in the spreadsheet.
Oh yeah, we
spreadsheet.
maybe said that in our meet and greet, Emily. I hope that's okay.
Good, yes, good. The more we say it, the more we'll just be like, oh, we're making it. Okay.
Yeah. So how's that going to change the way that you approach continuing to write season 4 now that you know that there's one coming up right behind it?
Well, the thing about this show is sometimes when you think you know things, like we have another season or nobody's pregnant, sometimes you find out the opposite of those things you thought you knew. But that being said, it's just such a gift, I think, if we are lucky enough to get that many episodes. And what I hope is I would like to do more fun episodes. You know what I mean? Like more episodics and more kind of genre staples and like, just looking at Buffy, like some of the best Buffy episodes are just like one-offs. Do you know what I mean by that? Like they're not serialized. So it gives us a little bit of space to explore more relationships too, I think. Have a little bit more fun, a little bit more breathing room. Like I definitely would say season 3 was like very fast paced. When I look back, I was like, maybe we could have throttled down a tiny bit. Maybe Waverly could have found out who her dad was, that it was her sister's boyfriend, seen him die, and then proposed to her girlfriend kind of in like 2 episodes. Maybe.
Now we need 4 episodes of therapy.
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
Waverly in therapy.
But it's like, what's that horrible saying? It's Shelley, you're not going to believe I'm saying this because it's from a producer we used to work with. But how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You still just have to do it like piece by piece.
Is the elephant alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
The elephant is a masochist. The elephant's like, I like it. That's weird.
I am also a vegetarian. Could we please put that in a spreadsheet?
That's right. We're going to move away from the gore now.
Thank you.
So I love this idea that you want to write more fun, funny, episodic episodes because you have so much fun with the ones that you do write. Specifically, I'm thinking about the episode. I think, Matt, did you write the Christmas episode?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote it with Emily Andras here. And with everyone else here, too.
Yes.
But yes, I'll take all the credit. Thank
Yes,
you.
take all the credit. Listen, you 2 are on the listing, and so I'm going to give you the credit and also the question.
Oh, nightmare.
That's
Yeah, okay. I don't want the credit. I forget it. It's a group effort.
But I would love to know what it was like to plot out this like genre show, but through the lens of comedy, because the physical comedy in that episode was so excellent. When Mama Earp was there with her big cleaver hacking away at the turkey. That was so fun to watch. It must have been even more fun to write and produce. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, it's just so great when you write something for these actors who are gonna, like, you watch the dailies, like we get basically online, we get to see the shots that they've done for the day. And it's so nice to be like, rather than just being disappointed, it's just so amazing and inspiring, and you want to write more. And so I think when we were like, I don't even know at what point like something like Mama Earp and the wild turkey came in, but it was because we were watching Megan Follows in the dailies of like episode 2 or something, and I think you had the idea of like she just has this wild turkey, and it's just like So you get to write for the actors. It was so fun to know that she could do physical comedy. And then,
Like, I know you guys, you have stand wisely, if that's true. Like, you know, part of the reason I think we're all here is because the cast is just so phenomenal, and they're so committed, and they're so game, right? It's fun to write for actors who aren't like, this is stupid, I don't want to do this. Like, it's great to ask Canada's princess, Megan Follows, like, would you mind chopping up a turkey?
of Green
And
Gables.
she's like,
Chop the turkey up. It's
finally,
great.
yeah.
Yes.
But it is joyful to write for them, I think. And we can push them because they're so strong and they like to be challenged, I think.
And with a Christmas episode, it's so fun because you're like, those are iconic episodes of like whatever show. You know, I remember the Simpsons Christmas episodes or whatever, and it's so fun to sort of play with the structure of that with our actors.
Mm-hmm. And Matt, you have a comedy background too. Like, how's that affected? I mean, if you didn't know, Matt writes satire for the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Wow, he's made it.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious how that sort of informed. Like, how is it different to sort of write comedy for consumption visually than it is to write for like?
I mean, I really love writing. Love writing one-liners on this show because you can give someone like Mercedes a one-liner that like she'll sell. But this show has so many just character jokes. Like, it's like in the Christmas episode, like Jeremy saying like huge dick or whatever, and then a pause, and he's like, he's a huge dick. He doesn't have a big dick. Like, it's like moments like that where it's the character. It's not just necessarily the joke. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just said a big dick joke in front of a bunch of room full of people. Anyways. Writing for online is a lot different. And those things, like, behind, like, whatever I've had published there, it's like, there's like 80 rejections also. Right. So if anyone's interested in writing comedy, just get ready to get a lot of rejections. Get used to the no laughs before the laughs. Yes.
Great. Good advice.
I'll take them all.
Yeah, exactly. Another hilarious episode was the one with the troll wife. Woo! And I think that was a Noelle special, was it not?
It was a gnome. I just wanna.
Oh my God. No, it's okay.
It's all right. I'm just like, I know she's gonna freak out down there.
It was just a bit of a misnomer.
Right? That's why she's the best. Yeah.
Oh God.
Gnome wife.
So jealous, Shelley.
Speaking of physical comedy, Jan Arden in that episode. Oh my God. Can we just like, what the casting there, it was excellent. How did that all come to be? How did you know that Jan Arden was going to be Bunny, or did you write Bunny for Jan Arden? I need to know.
No, we just were like, she's the worst. And so who's the opposite of the worst?
Yeah.
Jan Arden.
Yeah.
So
100%.
That's how we got there. Yeah.
But also, like, again, that was a case of we were like, okay, so we're going to put Calamity Jane on Bunny Loblaw. Is Jan Arden going to be into this? And then she was like, oh, totally put that cat on my butt. And she's like, just pour that tea right down my throat. And I was like, oh my God. Like, she was into it, right?
Totally game. Yeah. It was amazing.
Good. That's a very funny episode.
It was so funny. It's such
Also,
a buddy.
the whole time Noelle was writing it, she was like, I don't know. And I was like, they are going to love this episode. They are going to love Nicole and Wynonna together.
Yeah.
And they are going to, yes.
It's true.
So now she just wants to know wife 24/7, I think, Noelle. Yeah. No, it was so good.
It was true. Still now, I'm like, are you guys sure that that's okay?
Do you still have the card? Because I feel like before we wrote the episode, for so long, there was just a card on the Bristol board. We just have a bunch of cards with ideas that just said gnome wife.
Yeah.
Like,
And then it got illustrated by
Yeah, Shelley always will draw a picture.
I did keep that card,
What the episode is. Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
Yeah, it
so
was an
classic.
episode jammed full of character stuff, so there wasn't really a lot of room, thank God, for like a super bad guy or like a lot of like sci-fi stuff, which is not my wheelhouse. So I just that's what we all came up with together. It was like a nice, fun little story, and luckily it wasn't the stupidest thing you've ever seen because I was really worried that it was going to be.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, the buddy comedy vibes in that one were so strong. And I want to know where you want to take that kind of moving forward into the new season, Nicole and Wynonna, it sounds like they're going to have to team up to rescue everybody. So
We don't know where Nicole is. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
do. To be clear, we all know.
Yeah.
Natalie and Wynonna.
Natalie, I'm thinking of the
do
sheriffs,
we?
you know.
It's in our notes. Kristen knows. She's got it in the spreadsheet.
It's in the spreadsheet, yeah.
It's just got a question mark, like, oh shit.
That's my empty tab.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like, I don't know if you guys remember this because it was like 2004, but Wynonna drugged Nicole. You're like so shocked. You're like, she did. She drugged her at the end of the finale, right? And left her behind and then kind of let her sister go into the garden. So I'm not sure that's not going to have to be resolved.
She's gonna be pissed.
The
In a
garden?
dance off.
Seems like an issue.
What's the garden?
What's the garden? You'll love it. You'll love it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we have a couple of characters who are sort of in limbo right now. Yeah. So, like, going into writing the next few episodes to resolve that, maybe. How much content are you writing that doesn't appear on screen for the characters who are sort of away? You know, we've had that happen a couple of times where Doc maybe is doing things that are off screen, but then he comes back with a whole backstory.
Right.
How do you put that down on paper, and how much of it gets translated?
Well, it's sort of hard to answer this without telling you what we're going to do.
Just tell them.
Just okay, so yeah, just put it up. We brought the first
just
script.
us here.
It's the Earpers.
gonna
You
tell?
can tell that.
Day one, Shelley Scarrow. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Nobody's tweeting, right?
Yeah, nobody's
What's
tweeting.
Twitter?
Nobody has a phone in Canada. It's fine. I think you do have to track where the characters have been, but I don't know. It's hard to answer this. We got it? Question. We'll make sure we follow where they are. Or are not. Okay. You will find out what happens to all of them.
Very good. So
Okay, good.
there's quite a lot of things that are going on, but we may or may not see it, is what
That's
you're saying.
correct.
Okay.
That's correct. I'm going to
Wonderful.
show you as much as we're going to show you as much as we can on our Canadian budget.
Yes.
Gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
the garden,
And then we'll
might
put the
be-
novelization in the New Yorker.
Yes, exactly.
I think
Unfortunately, the budget's smaller because of all of Noelle's, scents and.
Yeah, it's all her oils.
All the
She's
oils
all
that
spend
her
so
oils.
much money at
yeah,
Sage.
exactly. Yeah, light, flameless candles.
For safety.
So let's talk about what being on a Canadian budget is like. Because it
we have to
seems
take
like
food donations from Earpers.
Yes, that's true.
This is my dinner. Thank you.
Yes.
right. And when you're writing all of these like really kick-ass action sequences, like, do you write to what your budget threshold is, or do you write it just as it comes and then you make it happen based on what you have? Like, how do you negotiate that?
Go ahead, Caitlin.
Sort of a combo of both. Sometimes it's like, okay, let's blue sky it. And for me especially, like it's weird to think about some things are easier to do and you expect them to be harder. And then, you have a great stunt person and they're like, oh no, that's easy. That's simple. So you sort of end up writing to what your stunt person can do.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of our best scenes and a lot of our best episodes come from having something go wrong or fall through.
Yeah.
The cameras freeze, so you suddenly have to move a scene inside. And why the heck is the seance happening in the room in the agency instead of the woods in the Pentagon? But then you end up writing stuff that, again, goes back to character because when you have actors like we have, thank goodness, you can put any of them in a room together and they're like lightning in a bottle. So you sort of figure out when you need to put a bunch of people together and just have character and when you need to, have Wynonna kick some ass.
Right. Yeah.
And
they're
Yes, definitely.
Try
you
us.
whispered it, so that's fine.
That's right. It's fine.
I think too, like it's such a testament to this group of incredible writers. Just like you're already working within so many limitations when you're writing, just what you can do. But it really forces these geniuses to make sure that you do care about the characters, that a scene with just the Earp sisters sitting in front of the fire is as yeah, right? Kevin. Are you familiar with their work, Kevin? I love it. Yeah, but honestly, like that's been one of the pleasures among many of this fandom is like that's the stuff you guys are watching on YouTube over and over again, or a way hot scene or whatnot. And as much as you admire kind of the action, you know, you don't hopefully turn the channel if there's only 7 Revenants instead of 700 Revenants, you know? And we really appreciate that. But it does force us, I think, to be really honest about the characters and the comedy and the dialogue.
Have we ever talked about gifable moments? And
gifable moments.
Have we can I talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
So like season 1, we had like, what are the gifable moments of every episode? And it was like, stupid Carl gets his tongue ripped out. And then very quickly, we realized that the gifable moments that people are retweeting and like
it's like Nicole wears a Stetson.
Yeah. Or like, you know, Waverly smiles at, you know, Nicole from her front porch, or Melanie Scrofano shows the dimples. Like that, and so suddenly it's like, okay, no, that's what's important. It doesn't matter the goo coming out of his mouth. It's kind of cool, but it doesn't compare to Melanie Scrofano's dimples.
Thank you guys for liking the stuff that's cheaper. We really appreciate that. That really helped us out a lot. So thank you.
Exactly. That's what we just said. Thanks for eating. Oh my God, you're making a note.
It's just so I don't forget.
Okay. Yeah. Is it Melanie Scrofano's dimples? Did you write that down?
Yes. How did you know?
Yeah.
Is there? There's probably a Twitter handle, isn't there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Probably. Yeah. So we're talking about like those gifable moments in the relationships. They're doing the face acting, which is very strong and also very affecting. And Wynonna Earp as a show has now reached, it's like a worldwide phenomenon. Wouldn't you agree? And it also means that there are a lot of people who have a lot of feelings about what your characters are doing and how they do it.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to be so visible and to be so sort of publicly accountable for the decisions that you're making? Like, it's pretty. You've seen some stuff. Now.
I've seen some stuff, baby. We've seen some stuff.
It's been around the block.
Exactly, oh my God. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we light so many flameless candles, baby, just to keep the light in the darkness.
It just makes it feel alive.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. We would be lying, or I would be. Oh God, if we said like we are certainly conscious of you, the fans, and what you might like and like less. I don't know. What do you guys think? But we also think it's such a tightrope walk because I also think we have to tell a story that is good and that surprises you. It can delight you, but it has to be surprising and yet earned. Does that make sense? You have to feel like, I don't love that happened, but I understand all the steps that went into that happening, and maybe they'll resolve it.
I just know, like, as a viewer, I've had shows where I've wanted something to happen so badly, like Mulder and Scully, get together. And then when that happened, I was like, I don't know. So I don't know. Sometimes I just like, not to be like, trust the writers. Not to be like, trust the writers, but I guess trust Emily.
No.
What's that phrase?
We're all in it. No. This is all of us.
What's in the Emily we trust, right?
No. You don't have to trust. You just have to enjoy the ride, or you can get off the ride. You don't even have to enjoy the ride. You just have to be on the ride. Yeah.
And I think sometimes like an audience response like of grief or anger is like you're kind of like, we did our job because you care about the characters, and it's sort of a double-edged sword. We made you care about something, and then we
It's called a drama story.
But it does like. I feel like having such an involved fan base does make you make sure that your story has integrity, which is an important thing as a writer at all times anyway. Yeah. But it can be easy on shows where you don't have so much engagement to just kind of talk yourself into something wackadoo because it'll get you through writing that episode. Or like, this will be cool, or this gives us something to work off. But when we're aware of the audience as much as I feel like we are with you guys, that like it does make you really think through all of those things so that even if you don't agree with the choice, you will understand it. because it's truthful to who they are, or at least who they are at that moment or what they're going through. So it's good. I find it really good. Sometimes it's hard. Like, I can't read. I know Melanie doesn't necessarily read Twitter when she's shooting.
No.
And I feel a bit like that too. Like, if I'm writing, I have to sort of close the door a little bit, and like, I still hear everybody, but just they're a little less loud.
Yeah. And like we all do love each other, but we try to run a safe room where we have like epic disagreements. You know what I mean? I think often we disagree about whether something should happen or a character should do something, and like not everyone has the same favorite character, I would say. No, is that fair? So I think like we all kind of debate it from different angles, I think, of the fandom.
I mean, we don't have favorites.
Exactly.
We love all our children the same.
Yeah, exactly.
We also debate lunch a lot.
We debate lunch. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, sometimes the energy has to go into lunch.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Caitlin, you mentioned having, a little bit of that experience with fan reaction. And you happen to be one of the primary writers on a couple of pretty heavy episodes. In particular,
I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it.
I say that with love.
I know, it's okay. No.
You ended up writing the episode where Dolls dies, and how did that impact you? Because you were pretty you are on Twitter, unlike Matt.
I have been shamed so much for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I said I would just do it once.
If you drink enough wine, we're setting you up on Twitter right here, right now. Just like, what I got on Twitter.
Shots.
Or at least MySpace.
Yeah, 100%. I'll do Friendster, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, Friendster. Sorry, Kate.
Friendsterless Matt.
Where did that, how did that affect you to be so personally accountable to some feelings?
I have to say, I didn't feel in any way bullied. There was no reaction like that from the Earpers, which I feel, is a testament to this fandom. But it's not an exaggeration to say that I sobbed while writing the episode.
You should, though.
Yeah, because I had never experienced, as writers, you go away and you write your own pilots. You're constantly writing your own stories and your own characters. And I'd killed several characters in my own work, but the impact of a character, I'm getting choked up, who is beloved by a fandom, and realizing that you're having to give him his way out, his exit, is like a totally different experience. So that was very, very hard, and especially since he was such a part of the family. And the one wonderful thing is that, Shamir is a terrific actor, and he's gone off and he's doing wonderful, wonderful things, and he's always going to be a part of the Earper family.
Yeah, he's coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's see him. Yeah. That's a great episode. You did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Yeah. In the writer's room, what are some of your favorite episodes that you've written? What have been the most fun?
You know what one thing that I think is fun is sometimes the ones you break that seem easy aren't always easy to write. And then some of the ones that are really grueling and take a long time are sometimes the ones that end up the best. No?
I remember thinking I feel like it was Brendan's episode last year with the jail, the breakout. I remember feeling like we were in the room, we weren't as jazzed or something, and then we watched it here last year, and it was mind-blowing. It was it became one of my favorite episodes of the season.
That's the one where Mama breaks out. Episode 5. Yeah. Episode 5? 4. Yeah. I've seen the show.
Just to give a shout out to Brendan York. The greatest.
Nicely done, yeah.
Pour one out.
Yeah. And Brendan's episode, the Groundhog Day too. Remember we were just it'll be that. He was so apoplectic writing that. He was just oh, how are we gonna pull this off? And then it was you have $4 in one room, go. And so then it was rewrite. But then I watched that episode and I'm because it had to get smaller, it's a perfect example of how budget constraints can really.
And April Mullen, that was April Mullen, the director.
She did a wonderful job. And then you watch that episode and you're it's about the two of them, and it's about it's so much more personal because it has to be smaller. And so it was really moved and entertained by it. So I think that's a great example of that.
There's something to be said for like writing the Marvel movie version and then having to boil it down to its essence. I think it causes a certain rigor. And that's a good example of that one, because we, like the original versions of that were all over the place. We're like, now they're at Machu Picchu.
Yeah, exactly. And so are we.
Oh, wait.
To supervise.
Oh, wait, they're back at Shorty's, right?
I find mid-season really hard, like, honestly, just because you're like, the beginning is kind of fun, and like, for better or for worse on the show, we always kind of screw ourselves in the finale, but like, we know we have to probably find out where Waverly is, I guess. Do you know what I mean? Like, you kind of have questions you have to answer, but mid-season things start to have to be percolating insofar as what the back half is. I don't know, I always find, but yet I would say, like, I look at last year and it was like Jolene and Gnome Wife and Christmas, like the mid-season is so good. I love the mid-season of 3, for example, but I feel like those episodes are harder. It's all hard.
Yeah.
It's all hard.
It is all hard. Yeah. And then weirdly, what's great about what's great about this show is that you do write the, like, the heavy moments or the really emotional moments of the Earp sisters on their porch, but then you get to have, Dominique try and mime booby trap and Melanie say breast alligator and do like a bunch of jumps and yell 3 cheers for Kegels, which, like, and it's in the same episode as a really emotional end. So, like, that's what's phenomenal about this show is you always find, like, something that's fun and, yeah.
So, well said. I have a couple of fan questions for you.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got a few minutes left.
Okay.
So I have from Maggie, Twitter handle at unsaltysaltines. Asks, "What's your writing routine?" And I want to like get to know what that looks like. Okay, I need to know about this reaction then. So let's start. Let's start there. You look pained.
Oh, every year I'm like, I'm gonna have an exercise regime, and
we're not gonna get any snacks. We're gonna have just
healthy,
vegetables.
all lettuce.
All lettuce. And then on day 2, you're like, I just snorted a bunch of nibs. Let's do this. Yeah, day 2, you're like, let's go. I drank 36
I just bring in my
zeros.
jar of bacon fat from home, and I'm just like, here we go. Let's do this.
You're like,
writing routine.
In
General?
In general, personal or in the room, whatever.
I feel like
makes
it's
you happy.
different. I don't know but these guys, like, it's different when I'm on a show and when I'm not on a show.
Yeah.
When I'm on a show, I'm eating these and have the wonderful support of other people, and I get to go and I get to vent and I get to have other people help me figure out what the problems are and break an episode. When I'm on my own, I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of listening to audiobooks, and I don't write well in the mornings, which I think actually is the opposite of a couple people on this panel. Okay, all people. No,
I'm a morning writer.
I don't do mornings, and then I kick into if I didn't have a partner, I would probably like do a whole bunch of like creative things to energize, and then start writing at 7 at night, and then work until 3 in the morning, and then sleep until noon. But that's not really. Doesn't it though?
That sounds awesome.
And I go to the gym regularly, of course.
I'm better with a deadline. Like, pressure is terrifying, but like a TV show is not like a novel. Like, I always say, it's such an obnoxious thing to say, but like writer's block is for amateurs when you're on a team, because like if you don't write something, even if it's the worst thing ever, like they don't have something to do tomorrow on set, right? They're just gonna have to make out the whole time, and no one wants to watch that. So I actually think the deadline and the pressure and the performance, I need some of that. I'm a better writer when I'm like, this is actually going out into the world. Writing your own stuff for all of you is like harder. Right? It's just harder when it feels like it's just for you and just for practice.
Do you put the pressure on these folks?
They don't need to have the pressure put on them because they
We
know
all
the
hate
schedule.
ourselves
We have a huge calendar up in the writing room. Everybody's pretty aware of.
And like, you don't want to disappoint our buddies up here. We need something to do Monday, and so if there's not the script to critique and rip apart,
That's the truth. Is it's almost like if you love everybody more, as I do with this team, like it's almost more pressure because you're like, oh, fuck, like I can't make Noelle laugh with this page. Like this is just not gonna do it. So that's how she reads my scripts.
Yeah, you have to be accountable to the people in the room, and that actually really helps, and it's really motivating. And it's extra hard working on Emily's show because the bar is so high. Like there's some shows where you're like, yeah, that's funny, and then you look at it and you're like, in the context of like what's what the first 2 seasons did, and the actors and what they bring to it, and you're just like, this is not good enough, and so you just got to go back to it. But you still have to write the garbage first version, and then go from there. Like I'm like obsessive and compulsive in the way that I like to find one song that I think encapsulates that episode, and I listen to that one song for like the 7 days that it takes to write that episode. Like a crazy person.
Do you write in order? Do you write like every scene in order?
I like to go chronologically if I can, but only because I'm one of those people that's like, if I don't know the emotional journey of the characters, I don't know what happens in Act 4 until I've gotten there through their skin. But if you have writer's block and you have a deadline, I write what's fun first.
Yeah.
Can I ask, does that song have lyrics in it?
Yes.
Because I need to have no lyrics.
It's a song. It has to be a song I've heard a million times, so I'm not listening to the lyrics. It can't be like something.
Is
new.
it Cheater?
It mostly.
I think Noelle listened to Cheater 2,500 times last year.
We listened to it on repeat driving back from Akon last year.
Yeah,
so I listened.
I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so good.
Your children think that's the national anthem. They think that is the national anthem.
Who's giving you a ride tonight? Yeah.
Listen, my 5-year-old knows the lyrics to Cheater, and there is nothing more satisfying than hearing a 5-year-old yell, "White trash hoe." Sorry, honey.
She's got to learn.
Sorry, honey.
So on that theme of thinking about songs and their relationship to the show, I have another fan question from @teacherp. And they ask, how do you decide the title of each episode? Because they each are a title of a country song, right? So who gets that honor? How do you go about doing that?
We make a big list at the beginning of the year, which is kind of fun, of country songs. We should get you guys to pitch country songs. And then every writer kind of gets to pick one mostly.
I just keep pitching, did I shave my legs for this? And nobody...
One day we'll get there. Season 4. Yeah. Season 4.
Shelley, you have a really funny one coming up in season 4, but you can't say what it is. Do you remember what the title of your episode is?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it? Tell me. I don't remember.
No, I can't tell you, but it's very funny.
I'm bad with microphones. I'll tell you after.
But sometimes we're like, oh, this episode has evil trees in it, so we're like, country song with trees.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. Yeah, we just make a big list. That's good because if you're picking titles, you're not writing. So it's like awesome procrastination. You're like, let's just listen to a bunch of Patsy Cline. Yeah.
And I inadvertently made all of them, started all of them start with W. And then I was like, well, I did it twice. Now I got to keep doing it, which makes it harder.
You've got to do it.
I do.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, and the last fan question, it's actually a two-parter, so
buckle up.
Zoe asks, what's the most ridiculous idea that made it into the show? That's part 1. Part 2 is, what's your favorite scene or line that didn't make it in?
Oh.
And that's from Ruby CB.
God. There's just so many ridiculous things.
Tampon Angel is right there at the top of my list.
Yeah.
We had a gnome wife named Monique.
We had a guy lick a potato, and it was like a huge plot point.
Right to potato licking.
Potato licking was pretty funny.
And also, wouldn't it be funny if Wynonna was banging Waverly?
I don't know if it was pitched as wouldn't it be funny? Yeah, that was a good one.
That was in my head.
The things that don't make it in are just boring. We're like, this is
why
boring.
they don't make it in.
Yeah, we're
potato.
like, should they do their taxes? No. Yeah. What kind of stuff? I can't think of anything what did we pitch that didn't make it in?
Holy shit, giant missile.
Holy shit, giant missile. In season 1, it just said for the finale, holy shit, giant missile. That was the placeholder. And then we were like, oh.
And like some kind of sexy Doc Wyatt flashbacks.
Oh, yeah, sexy Doc Wyatt flashbacks.
Or is that just me?
No.
Kiss.
Feels like there's some desire for that here.
Mustache to mustache.
Yeah.
So, Kristen, you know the mythology best. Does that track? Would Doc and Wyatt have a little like mustache to mustache time?
I think we've seen some tension, but there's lots to explore.
Oh, so what a great answer.
You heard it
What a
here,
great
folks.
answer. Yeah.
Was that bad? Am I fired? Am I fired, or does that just have to be my fanfic now?
I think everyone would like that.
You can do fanfic. You do the real fic.
Doc Holliday's
You're
a
the
vampire. I feel like we could do
Oh, yeah, shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
Right, we made him a vampire. I totally
Vampire.
forgot.
Like, historically, we're just,
It gets cold intense, though. You need to stay warm somehow.
Exactly.
Wonderful. So that's all the time that we have for the panel. But I have one more special guest to ask up to the stage. Where's Jules? Is Jules here?
Oh, hello.
Oh my God. What?
Prop comedy.
Oh. Suspense.
Hold it and don't open it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Here. Oh.
I need some of
Yeah.
those.
What is this? Cute. There's wine coming.
Shelley, you want me to?
We need to do a cheers.
Oh, I'm out.
It says you're fired, and then it's and then it's the name of the writer who's fired. It's
Oh
me.
my God, I can't wait.
Oh, shit.
What's happening? Why?
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, I think
I do know what's happening.
I know.
I do.
I love this.
Emma, would you marry me?
Sexy big frog! Oh my God!
Kiss.
No notes. Perfect. No notes. No rewrite. So good. Can we come to the wedding? Yes. Can we officiate the wedding? No, officiate.
We were actually going to ask you.
She cosplayed as Sexy Pig Fog. Sexy Pig Fog. I know. Like, congratulations, Mazel Tov. That's so good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you two.
Congratulations, Jules and Emma.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone. That wraps up our writers panel.
Thank you for being so nice to these incredible people. They're so smart. We are so lucky to have them.
Yeah, take the pictures. Thank you so much. This was a blast. Thank you so much, everyone. Make sure to be back here for 8 o'clock for the screening of an episode.
It's a Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I'm so glad she said yes.